Carlos, can you clarify what's going on with Franco Lombardo, please?
So at the moment with Franco, we have an agreement for a loan in place for him. As it's not completely finalized and signed off with all parties, just want to be respectful to the player and the other club involved. But at the moment, we have a loan agreement in place for him.
And why do you have to loan him?
So we'll be loaning him till the end of the season, and as you know, we've got the 4 U22 situation. So for us at the moment, having this option for him to go out on loan allows us to have the 3 U22s again.
This is not meant to be disrespectful toward the other U22s, but he's been a starter for the team. Is this a sign that y'all just couldn't find a loanee for any of the other three players?
Well, I think hopefully you guys will see at the end of the window when we have made all of our kind of our moves and where the pieces fall that this was part of the greater plan. So it's not necessarily one in, one out, but it's to make the entire roster better as a whole and strengthen in different areas where we want to strengthen. You guys know in this league it's tough with trying to bring players in, bring players out with the salary cap. So you have to make some real tough decisions on players to move, like you saw last week with, or earlier this week, excuse me, with Andrew Gutman as well, moving out. Again, there's a few more moves coming down the pipeline, and hopefully you guys will see at the end of the window, and we can kind of discuss why we went through the whole, all the movement that we did this window.
Are these MLS rules, do they frustrate you? I mean, you've got 4 young, talented players, and you have to move one.
That's not a fair question, Derek. We all have the same rules to abide by. So while they're challenging here, we know what they are, and every team has them. So it's part of it.
So Mosquera's loan was terminated by the other team, Defensa, correct? Is that right?
Mosquera's loan was mutually terminated by both parties, and Defensa, yes.
Is that a typical clause that's kind of a part of loans?
You can have that.
See that? Yeah.
Yeah, you can have that. So it's you can have termination clauses in there. You can have a 12-month loan with a 6-month break clause. So there's all different ways to structure loans. And at the moment, so with Mosquera, hopefully pending ITC approval, he should be available for this weekend.
Can you tell us more about Tristan and kind of his profile? Is he more of a straight up 6? He's an 8, kind of both?
Yeah, so we're really excited to have Tristan come in and join the midfield. I think in the press release I talked about it, but he's kind of an all-action midfielder. So can help on the defensive side by recovering balls, winning tackles, covering a lot of ground, pressing out and pressing high with the ability to recover for transition. Also, he's comfortable getting the ball off the defenders and helping us progress forward, or getting it a little bit higher in the field and progressing it forward. So I would describe him as a very an athletic, all-action midfielder that is very versatile, and he can play various roles depending on where Gonzalez sees him that weekend.
When were y'all able to start his visa process?
This morning.
Okay.
Yeah, once you're able to get it all signed off by the Players Union and to the league, then we submit that to the U.S. government.
So it could be, I mean, Gigi's, it took almost a month, I think, between his signing and his first playing time. Is that what y'all are expecting with Muyemba?
I think realistically, for Muyemba, we're probably shooting at that first Leagues Cup game.
Okay.
Yeah.
If Mosquera's loan was mutually terminated to the point that necessitated Franco Ibarra being loaned, is there a big plan for Edwin to play in the first team? Because Franco had started 15 games this year. I think he's played the 6th most minutes on the team. Seemed to be really improving in his game.
What is there a plan for him to play with the first team? Are you saying?
Well, I would just suggest that if the club mutually decide to bring Mosquera back, and that necessitates a player of Ibarra's kind of importance to the team this year being moved, does that mean that Mosquera is a real necessity because you see something in him that will be playing
okay.
a lot?
No, I got you. Yeah, no, I mean the plan is for Edwin to come back and join in the first team and be part of that rotation. Yeah.
Okay.
So this wasn't a reactionary move, a reactionary loan for Ibarra because Mosquera came back.
Yeah, I think So what I'd really like to do is not pit kind of one player against the other. As a club, we had 4 U22 spots. We needed to organize that and figure out what is best for our team long term. And some of the pictures, and like I said earlier, I think that will be, hopefully you guys can see this at the end of the window, some of the pieces that are moving and coming in certain positions. We're bringing in a midfielder. We had a couple left backs. We're bringing in a winger. We moved a left back. So you start to see the pieces kind of fall into place. And again, hopefully at the end of the window you will see, but it's in our league we can't normally bring players in without moving players out, so we have to make tough decisions about the roster, and it's tough. It's tough for the players as well, right? It's not easy being traded or being loaned or being moved when it just kind of pretty quickly.
And not trying to pit one of the players against the other. It's more just trying to understand the rules and the processes. Why the decision to trade Gutman?
Again, just a part of the plan to try and get better for the back half of the season, make a big push into the playoffs and win, really. And so with positions that we have on the field and with players that we have available to play, we had to make some tough decisions, and you need to move a few guys out to then bring a few guys in.
So what might be the positions, other positions? You've strengthened one, central midfield, defensive midfielder. What are the other positions that might be strengthened?
Yeah, I mean, we've got a couple more coming in the pipeline. Obviously, Luis left a couple weeks ago, right? And so, most likely you'll see that position, backfilled, so to speak, as well, with hopefully one more if we can add another one to that.
A DP level signing or just a TAM or?
Yeah, I think we'll see a couple players of some more significance come in. It's hard because the challenge that we have, and I really get frustrated when you talk about my frustrated with the league rules, it's more the designations of the players, which it's difficult. Like I don't like speaking about the players as a DP or a TAM, or they're players coming in of importance that we think will help the team, and so that's how I like to view it.
Sorry, to go back to the Franco issue, why not send out a player like Santiago Sosa, who has not played nearly the amount of minutes and just has not been as central to the team?
Yeah, again, you've got to make some tough decisions on players that come in and out, right? And so with players that are coming, with players that are going, this was a decision we made that we felt would make the team better overall for the long run down the stretch, and gives us that flexibility to do what we need to do.
So you said talk about strengthening the team by trading Gutman. Was there something y'all didn't like about his playing style or something on the field, or is it just getting Wiley more minutes as a left back? What was the?
No, and look, I get it. Like, the questions are fair, and what you guys are asking, it's not that we dislike a player, or not that sometimes you don't even want to necessarily have to move the player, but to try and complete our overall plan, what we want. You have to make tough decisions, and we feel like in these locations on the field we have players that can do a job. We feel like we're pretty deep in these areas. It also allows us to bring players in other positions we want to strengthen. So again, Gutman played with his heart on his sleeve here, competed, did a good job, right? And it's like, so same with Ibarra, it doesn't mean we dislike the player, or it's just you have to make some tough decisions, and this is the case.
Do you still have a long-term plan for Ibarra to be here?
It's just a short-term loan, so it's only a 6-month loan at the moment, and so whether he comes back here or he comes back here and then moves on in the winter time, we'll see.
Can you talk more about this? You've been referencing the plan, just like what you want to accomplish this window, how you want to make the team better. It doesn't have to be positions, but just kind of characteristics or profiles you want to bring in.
It's just strengthening the team and giving us a bit more balance. And I think we've done really well. Scored, I think we're second or third most goals scored. I think we're second or third most goals conceded. Right, so having a little bit more balance, giving us some strength and depth and cover in other areas. That's really the goal to kind of have a push into the playoffs and have a strong end to the season. But everything we do is trying to improve the team, and that's how we look at it.
This was, I think, Giakoumakis' third hamstring injury since he's got with the team. Has the short injury history affected y'all's transfer plans at all, or might y'all be looking at a striker, just another backup striker to come in?
No, his injury should not be long term, and he came out because he felt something the first time. I think it's his second, but yes, fair enough. No, it's just making sure we monitor him. Again, big picture, we might bring another striker in regardless.
Okay.
One, to compete. Two, we know if he's not playing 90 minutes week in, week out, do we need to strengthen that? So that's definitely on a possibility.
Just a couple more for Carlos.
When do you expect to know or to announce which team Bavard is going to?
Hopefully in the next day or so, we should have that.
Did Gonzalo know that Ibarra would be moved because he started the last game, just like he normally would be? Did he know that this plan to move Ibarra was in place?
Yeah, he started most of the games.
Yeah.
But so I think, why would he not? What do you mean? Why
Well,
would
just
he
if there,
not
was, if there
start
was a
him?
move, if there was a move planned for him, maybe not play him just for injury reasons or whatever.
No. I mean, it's the same, and that was not the reason that Gutman did not start the other game. It's just sometimes he makes some changes, and it's really, we don't want to do that. The one that we did pull back with was Luis. That
Yeah.
just after the break, we thought maybe, I think the guys had 5 days off. Coming back into it, maybe that's not the best to put him back out there after the time off, knowing he's going to move. So that was a decision that Coach wanted to make, and we supported that. It was probably a better decision for the long term. So.
Two questions. Do you have an idea when you're going to expect Mosquera's ITC to come in so he can play? And has the club received any bona fide offers for Almada?
So I'll say the same thing as last time about Almada. We're not going to discuss those. Obviously, he has a lot of interest. Fantastic game last weekend. And then Mosquera, we are hopeful by game time that it is here, so he can participate in Montreal.
Go ahead. Last one, though. Go ahead.
Yeah, Miles, I assume he still has not signed the contract extension that's on the table?
Yeah, no update on Miles from our end. Obviously, he's with the national team back playing now, which was good. He got 45 minutes, and so, yeah, we'll look forward to having him come back, but same thing with him, no pressure, but there's no updates.
But with him out of contract, are you all considering moving him just to try to get something before his deal ends?
Nope.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
All
you
right,
for-
thank you, guys.